What if I told you that the most successful trucking companies in 2025 are doing three things completely differently than everyone else? Welcome to Trucking Trailblazers podcast. I'm your host, Rob Palmer, and today we're uncovering exactly what those game-changing strategies are. Today on the show, I have Chris Jones from Trappers Transport. Great to have you on the show, Chris.
Hey, thanks for having me, Rob. Appreciate it.
Chris, let's start out with maybe you could just tell us what your role is at Trappers and how you got into that role.
Yeah, I'm Vice President of Operations and Safety. The scope of what I do for Trappers is I oversee the entire operation, including safety, risk, recruiting, retention.
What makes Trappers special?
Trappers is a best-in-class reefer provider, so we do nothing but haul refrigerated freight for the most part. Our entire trailing fleet is 100% refrigerated, and we service all of North America. So we're known to be a JIT carrier that has great service for a good price and great communication.
Okay, so your customers are located, like you said, all over North America. Do you have any particular lanes that you run in, or just wherever things?
We service the entire continent, but our staple lanes are Central Canada to the servicing the ports in the Lower Mainland in British Columbia. We also service Eastern Canada between the GTA and the Montreal metropolitan area as well. Those would be our two strongest lanes. Cross-border, we are servicing predominantly the U.S. Mid and the Eastern Seaboard, but we do have the ability and authorities to go right across to any state, any province, any country in North America.
Awesome. What is it that everybody in the industry misunderstands about trucking in 2025?
That's a good question. Many people believe that trucking is still just about moving freight from one point to another. It's taken for granted how much software, automation, real-time decision-making are part of every load, every decision. Success used to be all about capacity. Today, it's about precision, visibility, consumer confidence in the product. Trucking operations have had to adapt to the e-commerce model, as many shippers and receivers expect the same level of customer service and transparency that they get when they order from an Amazon.
For sure. So what are some things that Trappers Transport's doing to keep your drivers happy?
A few things we're doing to keep our drivers happy is transparency. Traditionally in the industry, one of the largest retention factors has been transparency around what drivers get paid for, not just on a per mile or a per hour basis, but all the ancillary pay that goes into detention, layovers, swamping freight, whatnot. So we have a fairly robust portal where our employees and our potential employees that want to work for us can see everything that we pay, can compare it to some industry carriers that are like us, and then they can make an informed decision. We allow our employees and our driver managers to have full access to our payroll module, and the drivers, while they're still currently on a trip, can actually see in real time basically what they're going to get paid. And that's very important in today's day and age. We've invested in technology, state-of-the-art equipment from tractors, super sleepers. The trucks today are much different than they were growing up in the industry. They're pretty much like RVs almost, and you can live in them as opposed to having to lay down and put your jeans on in your bunk. There's a lot more space and a lot more tech that are available to the drivers today. The number one thing for drivers, though, make them part of the decision-making process, from what division they work for, what lanes they travel. Any set routines and schedules are paramount to driver retention. By making them invested in any decision, they're really self-actualizing themselves, and they feel part of the decision, which they are. They're more invested in the outcome, and then the product overall is better for them, but also for our customers. It's a win-win. Traditionally, in the 90s, maybe even the turn of the millennium, drivers weren't included in that decision making. They were basically given trip information and told to go from point A to point B. By getting feedback from those frontline employees helps the office make even better decisions. And it really is a partnership today, whereas opposed there was a big gap from office to in-cab. Today, those silos are broken down, and we involve our drivers basically in the kind of freight we haul, the service schedules we give. They have a say on their home time, and they're able to pick For example, do they want weekends off? Do they want 2 days during the week off? And they're able to plan their family lives and their private lives around trucking.
Yeah, and that's key. So what are the major industry challenges that other trucking companies are facing right now?
The trucking industry is being squeezed in many directions. Cost, capacity, compliance, customer expectations are some of those. The main challenges I see are an unstable freight market today. That would be number one. Spot rates continue to be soft. Contract rates have been squeezed the last couple of years, leading to many carriers struggling to meet their commitments with their tractors or their trailers, and they're overextended. They ended up riding the highs of the freight boom during COVID and bought trucks and trailers and other items at record high prices. Then the freight recession happened after COVID, and they still have the same payments with much lower freight rates. And this is why you're seeing a lot of trucking companies in our industry going out of business in the last 12 to 24 months.
So is Trappers right now exploring any new technology in trucking? For example, alternate fuels or anything like that?
Yeah, no, absolutely we are. We're actively exploring a mix of low emission technologies, including hydrogen and battery electric options. Our goal is not to chase hype, though. We see a lot of people chasing hype as a marketing ploy. That's not what we're about at Trappers. We want to adopt the right technology that fits our routes, our drivers, our customers' needs, and our sustainability goals. Electrifying a fleet, for example, that comes with a lot of infrastructure concerns in Canada today, but it should work in a short haul or local application. Our fleet, we haul a lot of heavy payload, triaxle weights, and electric trucks. The batteries drain very quickly with the more weight you haul. I can see electrification really working well once infrastructure is built within a city, local routes. I can see that working very well. Hydrogen would be probably the way to go, and we've just started looking at it. There's not a lot of options or any infrastructure really built yet. But from a long haul perspective, hydrogen looks like it would be the way to go long term. We've just started talking to the OEMs and vendors out there with what they're proposing in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So is Trappers using or investigating using any AI solutions to streamline your operations? Like some trucking companies are using AI for driver recruiting. Anything you guys are looking at?
Yeah, for sure. It's a very hot topic within our walls today. We've started looking at AI in regard to preventative maintenance, operational optimization, safety, and compliance as well. I don't see AI replacing people, and that's what a lot of employees are worried about. I see it making people more effective. Fleets that realize pairing human judgment with machine intelligence, it's going to increase future value, sustainability, and companies and carriers that understand that are going to thrive in the next 5 to 10 years.
Absolutely. How about cybersecurity? I know you guys have a good tech department. Or is it something that worries you guys, keeps you up at night?
Absolutely. It's one of the things I lose sleep, and I know our executive and owner loses sleep about. Cybersecurity is a huge operational risk, and it's just not an IT issue like people think. There's fewer old people like me that understand how to dispatch without a TMS system that can do it on paper. So a lot of companies are very much at risk these days. We've engaged in a company-wide security culture in recent years, in the last 2 years. One of our largest customers had an attack a couple years ago, and it literally brought them down for 90 days or so. And it was a huge hit to them, which in turn was a huge hit to us. And watching them go through their struggles and what they went through was a real eye-opener for our organization, and we had to take action. We've engaged in a company-wide security culture. One of our largest customers, as I said, was attacked, and we have multi-level role-level security now, dual password protection. We back our system every hour. So we have the ability, if we do get attacked, we could be up. Our goal is 1 hour, and realistically, though, it's about 3 hours. We could be up and running on a mirrored system without really missing too much.
That's awesome. So what's one piece of technology that you wish existed that doesn't?
Yeah, good question. Right now, one of my biggest pet peeves is juggling so many different systems, from a transport management system to telematics, ELDs, payroll, safety, maintenance. None of them really are fully integrated and talk to each other very well, I find. And I wish there was a single AI platform that could manage our entire operation in real time. It'd be great to establish like a control tower, just like the aviation industry, where we're constantly adapting and optimizing. We really don't need more dashboards. We have a lot of dashboards and they do help, but we really only need one smart brain behind the scenes that connects all the dots. That would allow us to be leaner, safer, smarter. If I had it my way, that is the tech I would invest in tomorrow if it existed today. And I think it's coming soon.
For sure, definitely around the corner. What are some improvements that Truck's making on implementing safety and compliance tech? Are you guys looking at anything or using stuff that's right now?
Yeah, so our fleet is now fully functional with dash cams in every power unit. We have them in all of our cross-border units for the last number of years. Everyone's afraid of that nuclear verdict in the U.S. if an incident occurs. But we saw it as an investment, not just as a get-out-of-jail-free card or to prove a third party at fault instead of us. It helps tremendously with that, but we actually found that it can really improve driver behavior. By sharing video and some of the technology out there right now, and it is AI related, it can show signs of distracted driving before a driver even demonstrates that on the camera. So by gauging the driver over a course of time, days, weeks, months, it can build a report that'll show you the time of day, the day of a week even, the season where that specific driver, say on a fleet of 100 drivers, it'll tell you specifically each driver where their major risk points are. Instead of it just being a generic uniform approach, we're able to isolate single drivers for where they need skill improvement and enhancement and training on. And that's really helped us in the last 2 to 3 years.
That's awesome. If you were starting a trucking company today, what would you do differently?
Lots. Well, most new carriers copy yesterday's model. I see it every week, every month. If I was starting out today, I'd build for where the industry is going, not where it's been. I see that mistake all the time. Automating invoicing, payroll, maintenance, scheduling as early as opposed to having to rebuild the whole machine on the fly when a company outgrows its current infrastructure would be the way I would go. I would start at the start. I would build for growth as opposed to buying things and just bolting them on and hoping they work. Having a little more foresight and anticipating where you want to be in 20 years as opposed to an annual strategic plan, maybe more of a 5, 10, 15, 20-year snapshot.
That's interesting. It's staying ahead of the curve rather than behind it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's all the questions I have today. Do you have anything else you'd like to add at all, Chris?
No, I appreciate the invite. We love our industry, and it's going to be good to watch your podcast take off, and look forward to seeing future episodes.
Yeah, it's been great knowing you over the past 10 years. Thanks again, Chris, for coming and doing this.
Okay, no problem, Rob.
Okay, thanks. Bye.